Okay, let's just dive right in. What if an ancient text, I'm talking over 2,000 years old, wasn't just philosophy, but a user manual for the universe itself? That's what we're doing today. We are decoding Chapter 2 of the Tao Te Ching, not as poetry, but as a shockingly accurate guide to the laws of cosmic physics. Now, at first glance, this just sounds like a wise observation about how people think, right? But what if it's something way, way bigger? What if Laozi is handing us a cosmic riddle about the actual structure of reality? And that's the big question for today. We're going to dig into this pretty radical idea that Laozi wasn't just talking about how to be a good person. He was describing the fundamental rules that govern energy, matter, and, well, everything. All right, let's jump into our first big idea. This is where we connect Lao Tzu's ancient words to the very birth of our physical reality. How we got a universe full of different things in the first place. So, try to picture it. In the very beginning, before all the stuff we see existed, everything was in a state of perfect, unbroken unity. There was no hot or cold, no light or dark, no beauty or ugliness, just a single, symmetrical, unified whole. And this is where the magic happens. Lao Tzu's incredible insight was this. Our own consciousness, the very act of observing and naming things, acts like a cosmic prism. By deciding something is beautiful, we instantly, automatically create its opposite, ugly, from a state that had neither. We take this simple, unified reality and shatter its perfect symmetry into the world of opposites we live in. And look, this isn't just some philosophical thought experiment. In physics, creating these kinds of boundaries and definitions has a cost. It actually introduces complexity and creates, for lack of a better term, noise or thermal friction in the system. And that friction, well, it has a name: entropy. People often call it disorder, but a much better way to think about it is as the number of possible ways a system can be arranged. See, by creating these dualities, we explode the number of possible states. We spread energy out, make it less useful, and increase the total entropy. We literally create wasted energy just by judging something. So we've broken the symmetry. Now what? Well, what's truly amazing is how Laozi then perfectly describes the fundamental rule of this new, divided universe. He just lays it out for us, list after list, being and non-being, difficult and easy, long and short. Now pay close attention to the verbs he uses: produce, complete, shape. He's telling us these aren't separate things fighting each other. They are totally dependent on one another. They literally bring each other into existence. And this is fundamental physics 101. You just can't have a positive charge without a negative one somewhere to balance it. They always arise together. One defines the other. It's a package deal. It's the exact same thing with any wave in the universe, right? The idea of a crest, the high point, is completely meaningless if there isn't a trough, a low point. They are two parts of a single vibration, a single movement of energy. And this image just nails it. These opposites, yin and yang, positive and negative, crust and trough, they aren't at war. They're just two inseparable sides of the exact same cosmic coin, a single energy field expressing itself in two different ways. Okay, so if the whole universe is built on these interconnected opposites, how are we supposed to actually navigate it? How do you live in a world of constant push and pull without totally burning yourself out?
What is the universe's own default operating system, its ultimate survival strategy? Well, Lao Tzu gives us the answer, and it turns out it's the exact same strategy the cosmos uses for everything.
He calls it Wu Wei. Now, so many people get this wrong. It's often translated as non-action or doing nothing. That is not it. Wu Wei is the art of effortless action. It's about getting things done by aligning yourself with the natural flow of the universe instead of trying to muscle your way through it. Okay, now here's the part that just blows my mind. 2,500 years after Laozi wrote this, physics discovers a law that governs literally everything, from a beam of light to the orbit of a planet. It's called the principle of least action, and it says the universe is fundamentally, well, lazy in the best possible way. It will always, always choose the path that takes the least amount of energy. So you see what's happening? Wu Wei is just the human application of the universe's most fundamental law. Any action that's forced, that's driven by ego, that fights against the current, it goes against this principle. It generates that cosmic friction, that entropy we talked about, and is an incredible waste of energy.
The sage, on the other hand, does the opposite. They stop fighting. They stop struggling. They slip into what a physicist would call the ground state. Think of it as the universe's ultimate chill mode. It's the lowest, most stable energy level possible. It's life with zero friction.
All right, let's bring it all home. Let's look at how all of this builds into a practical and honestly, a pretty revolutionary guide for how to live your life and make a real, lasting impact.
Lao Tzu ends the chapter with this incredible paradox. How could forgetting about your work possibly make it last forever? It sounds completely backwards, but it's the ultimate secret to cosmic energy conservation.
Just think about a giant star. For millions of years, it burns, creating all the heavy elements. Then, when it dies, it doesn't hoard those elements. It doesn't put out a press release bragging about all the light it made. It just releases everything back into the cosmos. And that stardust becomes the building blocks for new stars, new planets, and eventually for us.
And that's the playbook for us. This is how we can do the exact same thing. You act with that effortless flow, wu wei. You contribute your energy, you do the work, and then you let it go. You let go of the outcome. By detaching your ego from the result, your action stops being just one little event. It becomes part of that eternal cosmic cycle. When you release that need for credit, for ownership, for control, when you let go of the self, you stop generating all that wasteful friction. The energy of what you did isn't burned up by your ego. Instead, it resonates, conserved forever within the fabric of the universe. That's Lao Tzu's ultimate guide to a meaningful and efficient life.
And so we end with a simple question. Every photon of light, every drop of water, every galaxy in the cosmos operates on this principle of maximum efficiency. They all follow the path of least action. So why shouldn't we?